Am I allowed to talk about sleep token right now?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Metal Remains Backstage. I'm Manuel at Inferno Metal Festival in Norway, and with me are the guys from Nite. We have Van and Patrick. Hi, guys. How are you?
Jet lagged.
Oh, yeah?
But here,
Where are you coming from?
For it. We are from San Francisco.
Flew all the way from there?
We did fly all the way from there. It took 20 plus hours.
Oh, yeah. I'm not jealous at all.
No, it's a beautiful country, though. We love Norway, and we're very happy to be here.
Yeah, I love it as well. It's very nice. We invite you, of course, to come to the festival. And on those trips, what were you be listening that you would like to recommend?
I like the new Worm album.
Okay, Worm.
Necropalace, right? The new Halas album. The new Halas album and the new Worm album for me.
The new album by a band called The Silver.
The Silver, okay, very good.
Very good. We played a show or a festival with them in Seattle, and they're a phenomenal band.
Okay,
really good.
Check them out. Talking about Nite, your sound blends classic heavy metal music with darker or almost blackened atmospheres. How did that identity develop for Nite?
Yeah, for us, this is what heavy metal should sound like in 2026. This is the metal we like. We like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and Manowar and all these bands.
But it's having a nightmare. Your sound turns it into a nightmarish version of that.
Yeah, we live in a world past Entombed and past Dark Throne and past Immortal and all those things happened. You know what I mean? And changed heavy metal for us at least forever. So this is exactly what we think. We know we are labeled as black and heavy metal or heavy metal with black metal vocals, but for us this is heavy metal full stop, like the end. That's it.
Okay.
You know?
I think what's interesting about the band is that we all have sort of diverse tastes within heavy metal, but where we all come together are just sort of, the classic, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Van Halen. But like we all have, listened to way more extreme versions of, death metal, black metal. And yeah, it's like for people that don't know the band, it's like the easiest way to describe it's like Iron Maiden, but with some Immortal sprinkled in there.
With some Night Terrors on it.
Night Terrors also.
You're playing here at the Inferno Metal Festival, which is one of the most extreme festivals in the world. Many people want to come here to watch the hardest stuff there is. So I think it blends properly. But what does it mean for the band to perform at such an iconic metal festival?
For us, this was. I remember the first day I met Pat was like, hey, let's do this band. Have an idea. This is gonna be great. It would be a traditional metal band, but we would be able to be on stage at Inferno. So for us, being here is a huge milestone. We always wanted to be here. This is my second time playing here, first time with Nite, and I don't know. I don't think you can top that festival. I know that Wacken is of course bigger than this one.
Here, represent.
But for us, it's a huge honor that we were invited to play here. We're honored that we're here. It's like the coolest stamp of approval that we could have ever hoped for.
Yeah. I think this lineup this year is including a lot of bands that are very, not new, but they have a fresh sound. They are like the current wave of bands. And I think you're at the forefront of that. Taking it to the opposite side, how is it to bring nightmarish sounds to a regular festival where everybody wanted to listen to some AC/DC and Van Halen? How does the audience react then?
I don't know if we've played a festival like that. We've been at festivals where it's a lot more traditional heavy metal bands. But I think we've been lucky enough to play the Hell's Heroes Festival twice. Okay. And that's a great, I think, example of the combination of traditional heavy metal with, sort of classic black metal, and like sort of running the gamut of like a lot of different genres. Christian, who books Hell's Heroes, really wants to make a diverse lineup, but also it's just like the shit that he likes. Yeah. So luckily we like the same shit, so we end up playing his festival.
We all enjoy doing the shit we like the most, and it it shows when you go on stage.
Yeah.
It comes to the audience as well, and it goes back to you, I imagine.
But I think that like what is nice about I think our sound is that people that just listen to traditional heavy metal that love, like I only listen to Ozzy Osbourne and like Accept and like like they're a trad metal person.
Yeah.
Might be drawn into our music through the guitar solos, through the like more mid-tempo
Find
beats.
familiar
Yeah,
things.
big open riffs, and then people that only listen to black metal or just like are way too true to listen to any like traditional heavy metal might respond to the vocal style being harsher. So I mean, what's nice is we can kind of like hopefully gather people from all different genre, micro subgenres, and have them all
Micro
party in the same room.
Very nice. Now, a lot of people say that modern metal is becoming too polished and safe. Do you think metal is losing its edge?
Am I allowed to talk about sleep talking right now?
Yeah.
We're-
It's the first thing I thought of.
We never talk about them at all.
Yeah, for me, look, I don't know. I'm a peaceful person. I don't fight with people, I don't like when people call things that are not metal.
Okay.
Like I would like, like if this is not a gun, right? This is not a gun, it's a microphone, right? If I start calling it a gun, we're gonna have problems here. You know what I mean? You're gonna be scared that I'm out here. It's kind of like that. Like I want to go to a metal show, and I want that metal show to, if Joey DeMaio was there, to have a good time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't think Joey DeMaio would go listen to Taylor Swift. Maybe he would with his daughters. I don't know if he has kids or something, but anyway, I don't like that. I don't like that, man, at all. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's interesting is like, I guess I don't understand what bands like Sleep Token have to gain by posing as heavy metal. Like, why is heavy metal a sort of like marketing angle? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like heavy metal traditionally doesn't really make much money. It's obviously had its ebbs and flows in popularity, and there was a period in MTV where they did play heavy metal, and bands probably made some money and got signed to major labels. But like, it's just strange to me that they would want to align themselves with heavy metal, and I think what they're looking for is to sort of exploit the look and feel of heavy metal, the kind of like theatrics and the costumes and the presentation of heavy metal, but with playing like shitty pop music.
It's that thing of my culture if you're a costume thing.
Exactly.
Okay, good. Your music has a very strong atmosphere and imagery. When you're writing songs, do the visuals come first, or does the music create those aspects?
Both. We so two members of the band, myself and our other guitarist Scott Hoffman, are graphic designers and visual artists, and so we sort of will approach things differently than Van, who's much more of a sound artist, but also like a lyricist. But the ideas for songs, the inspiration,
Artisan.
yeah, he's artisanal. The impetus of the song, the spirit of it, like how to derive the proper atmosphere for the song, it comes from everywhere, and it just depends on kind of like how it starts and then where it goes from there. But really, like, we like to not be specific about how songs are crafted. We try to be open to what is out there.
Okay, very good. Now, we recently, I was checking on the date, this was released March 14th, 2025. So it's a year past since the release of The Cult of the Serpent Sun. Did it meet your expectations 1 year later after being published when it comes to the impact it had on the fandom?
Yeah, this is our most successful album to date. We have a steady growth album after album, which is, I find, very healthy. I've been in bands before that, we would do one album, and then the next album would be on Metal Blade, and then the third album would never be, because this meteoric rise is
The third Metal Remains, that's the best they got.
And so I am personally pretty pleased with what is going on, and we are a little bit older in our point in our lives anyway. And the demands of these bands is perfectly aligned with that. Like we all have families. We live in the most expensive place in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Like, I mean, us living for 2 weeks means that we have to make the GDP of a small country to be able to pay rent for our families. You know what I mean? So
We're hoping to find some oil in Norway.
Oh, yeah.
Bring back with us.
exactly.
Peacefully.
Peacefully.
Peacefully, though.
That's-
The Norwegians are very giving. They'll share some with you.
That remains to be seen.
Yeah, we'll find out tonight.
Well, guys, your show is tonight. I'm very excited to watch it. I think when I saw the poster for the festival, me not being a black metal guy, that was the band I was more excited about watching. So I know that you won't disappoint me, and I hope
No pressure.
I hope you don't disappoint our fans with our last question, which is our signature question.
Okay.
Can you share with us one of your favorite backstage stories?
We have many great.
Yeah. I can't think of a good one.
We lost the bass once.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So we were playing this show in Rochester, upstate New York.
Okay.
And we were on tour with our friends, the brilliant Savage Master. And there was a few local opening bands, and they had a few drinks. And at the end of the night, when we were all loading out of the venue, the extremely drunk opening band decided to take our bass guitar home with them because they thought it was theirs, or they were just drunk. Yeah. So we realized this as we're loading out that like there's a case there that's not ours. It's not Savage Master's. And we can't find our bass. We quickly put it together that it's the open band. Yeah, we have those. But it turned into a whole fiasco where we basically had to like get them on the phone and convince them to drive back with the bass, or we were going to have to sort of go find them. And, the guitarist of the guitarist of the other band, Savage Master, was not happy. So let's put it that way. It was luckily it did not come to blows, and they did show up with the bass very quickly due to some threatening words over the phone. But it was disaster was averted, but it was definitely for a moment that we were like, I guess we're going to tour without a bass for the rest of this.
They didn't leave us their guitar though.
Their shitty guitar for our beautiful Rickenbacker bass.
You might be able to make it work. So there you have it, guys. If you ever go see Nite, make sure to double check on their luggage. Make sure it's
Don't take our stuff.
It doesn't say Nite. Otherwise, you're going to get in big trouble. If you enjoyed this interview, please like it and share it with your friends. Make sure to buy and stream Cult of the Serpent Sun, which is already out, to double support the band and go watch them when they come to a city near you. See you next time, but until then, stay metal!